Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk, thinking right out here in the lab where I do what I do for you in the wee hours of the morning, too. Let's go. I got something nice for you today. Well, for some of you, remember, I'm an equal distributor. I give knowledge to anybody who want it. I don't pick and choose. Let's go. We all are equal when it comes to learning thyself. Okay? Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. I put messages in the story for life. I give you life lessons. You tune in and receive them. You got a good thing going. I appreciate you. Let's go. I got some more for you. Let's do it. Right Thinker's mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right Thinker's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission, and that's what I'm on, is to get all right thinkers to know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. Let's work together and get it done. So I asked the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical, but if you don't have an answer, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. So, a person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. Person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. That's cool. I'm spiritually on top here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And to my yacht, be true. I may take a hit for this one, but you know how I feel about that. Right thinkers, let's talk about intelligence versus ignorance. Who you going with? Remember, Maya gives you choices. That's what the world is based on. That's what you need to understand. Pros and cons, good, bad, up, down, in, out, all opposites. Understand that. You have the choice to make the ones that's best for you. With knowledge of self, you can do that instantaneously. Why? Because you know what you're doing. Let's go. A lot of us choose the other route, not to know. Yes, it's Maya philosophy, and it means equal opposites, male, female, okay? Young, old, same thing, but they opposites. Intelligence, knowing, ignorance, not knowing, but they both can be lived with and dealt with. And we're doing it every day on a regular basis. It's your choice. To know yourself is a choice. Not to know yourself, again, a choice. So you can use any analogy you want. Intelligence is self knowledge, knowing thyself, inner knowledge. And that's a good thing for who? The individual who practices and uses it. Ignorance, on the other hand, again, a choice, but it means just not to know. It don't mean you're stupid. It don't mean you don't know. It just means you don't know something. So it's not an insult to be ignorant. I'm ignorant of a whole lot of things. So it's not an insult. That's my point. And ignorance means not knowing or having lack of what? Self knowledge. And we've been told for the last 2,000 years that's what's destroying us. So if you choose to go that route, and we still are choosing that route, that's your call. But you don't know you. And if that's not a concern for you, again, you problem. Moving on. But let's talk about intelligence is what? Having knowledge of self. You study, you practice, you learn from somebody who know themselves, aka a teacher, sage, guru, mystic, whatever. But you have to learn from somebody how to know thyself along with what? Knowledge of other things. I gave you 7 liberal arts. I have a whole bunch of knowledge of a whole bunch of things. But the whole point is Every individual has a choice to make it for themselves. I chose to learn them things. I chose to study and understand them things. So now that I know them, I can teach them to others. And first of all, you can live in the ignorant state of mind a long time. So and enjoy the life that you're living. Why? Because if you're serving you and what you're doing is working for you, that's making you happy and keeping you happy. But guess what? At Judgment Day, when you gotta be responsible for your actions, when all the stuff that you did that you wanted to have and wanted to do, and all the people that you did what you did to, all that's gonna come back. That's your baggage, and that's what's gonna be in your heart when it's weighed against the judgment of the feather of my eye. If it ain't light, and those kind of people's heart ain't even close to being light, so yeah, they won't pass, so they get reincarnated. That's the concept. Trying to move on. Be the idea. People with knowledge of self. You will never have an intelligent conversation with who? With an ignorant person. Not gonna happen. The only way you can have an intelligent conversation is if you got what? Two intelligent people having that conversation. This is where the rubber meets the road. If you arguing with me, if we can't have a conversation, leave that there. I spend a lot of time talking to who? Ignorant people. When? Daily. And it's frustrating, but I got to deal with it. I'm getting better. See, again, I may have mastery of myself, but I got situations I got to learn to master as I'm dealing with myself, deal with them situations, and maintain myself. So I'm getting better at that. When daily, I'm still learning how to do that. Okay, I'm a master again of myself, and I master what I teach. But in life, I can teach anyone who what wants to learn. I can't teach those who don't want to learn. I ain't trying to. I don't appeal to you. I teach and you come and get the lessons. Simple. And understand this. The worst ignorant person is who? Is the ones who don't know what that they ignorant. They may believe or think that they got something going on. We see a lot of that going on. Well, I do. And when you put them in a position to be responsible for what they say, do, and think and feel, they get upset because they don't have the answer. As the master of right thinking philosophy, there's no question that you're going to ask me about my right thinking philosophy that I can't answer. When you don't know yourself, when you don't know what religion you follow, whatever you believe in, and you don't haven't done the study, put the work in, you really don't know nothing. You're going on what somebody else is telling you, and that is the true definition of ignorance. And when you listen to an ignorant, when you listen to ignorant people, I sit around and listen to conversations. When you listen to ignorant people express themselves, you can tell or you can hear the ignorance. Quick, it's it kills me because I hear conversations of ignorant people and I want to help them out so bad, but I tell myself, nope, it ain't gonna be received. Some people can't handle constructive criticism, meaning telling them what they're wrong about and trying to help them. Leave that be, okay? So I hear a lot of ignorant people talking, and I can hear the ignorance in their voice, in their conversation. If you're ignorant, understand that you should really what? Say less. And then it lets people know how ignorant you really are. Because if you're talking around a bunch of intelligent people, they're going to recognize your ignorance right off the bat. You're going to lose all credibility and probably nobody want to talk to you. That's the important part. When you don't know something, shut up. You know what you talk about? Don't talk about it. Simple. Moving on. Now, and what I'm saying now is because my tolerance of ignorant people is getting thin day by day. I'm not seeing a change in the way of intelligence. All I'm seeing is constant ignorance. So I don't particularly care for that. But I try to enlighten the ignorant people when I have to deal with them, and it don't work. It don't work. It's unbelievable, but yeah, it really don't work. So I have to let that go. Moving on. And watch this. I find myself getting more and more what annoyed with these ignorant people doing ignorant things. And justifying it with more ignorance. My friendship circle, okay, because my tolerance for ignorant people is down to a dot. It's just me and you, my viewers who I can talk to and hopefully get some response on a positive note. But I can't stand and be around ignorant people. It just drives me crazy. So I would rather be by myself. That's the point. A lot of people, those ignorant people, hate to be by themselves. Why? They want to express their ignorance around other ignorant people. Just like misery love company, ignorance love ignorance. Excuse me. Moving on. Okay. I'm a teacher. So I'm trying to give, life lessons. And here is fine. It's no problem. But in real life, man, it's like pulling teeth. And I'm getting so frustrated. So I got to really understand. As being a teacher, I can't teach you. If I can't teach you, I'm a teacher. If I can't teach you, why am I even talking to you? Why am I even dealing with you? We have nothing in common. If you don't want to learn, we don't need to have a conversation. Please understand that. And I'm not being disrespectful, but I'm being genuine. I don't need to have a bunch of nonsense that don't do me no good. If we can't converse about something constructive, what's the point? Moving on. You can't enlighten ignorance with what? More ignorance. And if you have an ignorant person and you don't recognize their ignorance and you don't let yourself get caught up in that, you become ignorant too. So you're not doing them no good. It's like getting in the mud with the pig. It's like, I'm not a pig. I can't tell. You in the mud. So my pastor gave me that one. I still use it because I like it because it gave me a different perspective. My perspective was, if I got to get down and dirty, so be it. I'm from the streets. Let's go. I got holy water. I can wash myself off. My pastor said, no, brother, right? That's not how it goes. So he changed that philosophy. Again, see, I'm not hell bent on what I think, how I feel. If you give me good rhyme and reason for seeing looking a different way, and my pastor is famous for just that, giving me a different perspective and bringing me back to where I need to be. Love that guy. Okay, so understand, if you're dealing with an ignorant person, ignorantly, you won't get nowhere. You right where they are. Again, with the pig in the mud. Being, if I see and recognize you're ignorant of yourself, first I'll try to, enlighten you, ask you a few questions and try to get you so I can enlighten you. But if it don't work, I would just leave you alone. But I will give it a shot. I'm always trying to enlighten. Being ignorant is like what? Drinking poison and looking for other people to die. You ain't doing nothing in the way of bettering yourself, but you can always see everybody else's flaws and faults. You know them people? I can tell you, if you don't know a person like that, you that person. So always beware of who you are and what you're doing. Why? Other people see it. Moving on. I got almost done. Yeah, I appreciate you tuning in. I'm gonna get this slapped away right quick. Now, I don't argue to enlighten you. I'm not gonna fight with you if you're drowning. If I see you can't swim, I see you floundering around and you're drowning, I'm gonna jump in a lifeguard and tell you, stop floundering, I got you. If you continue to flounder, I'm gonna leave you be. So if I'm trying to enlighten you and you persistent on being arrogant and ignorant, I'm gonna leave you alone. Simple. Okay, it don't change. I don't argue to enlighten you. If I can't teach you what I know, goodbye. No problem. No harm, no foul. I'm not gonna waste my time. I didn't waste your time. You go your way, I go mine. Moving on. So this is how you deal with people in religion and politics. Why? That's the endless circle. You're dealing with opinions and most times belief. Those are two things don't go nowhere. Okay, moving on. Being ignorant is a choice. Again, we back to that again. You choose to be ignorant. Why? We in the information age. Ain't nowhere in the world you should be ignorant of things that you should know, at least about yourself. Okay, but being ignorant is a choice, just like wanting to be a right thinker. It's a choice. To better yourself is a choice. To remain the same or do nothing, choice. Make it and deal with it. Once you make a decision, live with it. Stand on it. Own it. Don't say, well, that ain't decision making. Be firm, committed in your decision, and stand on it. I got to live by my philosophical points of view no matter what. Why? This is what I set for myself. It's the precedent that I set for myself. Let's go. Now, last one, wrapping it up. Intelligent. Intelligence over ignorance. Your choice. Again, and in life, we have to make choices that's best for us. Some people think it's better to be ignorant. They think ignorance is bliss. You never reach bliss being ignorant. Another lesson, but I know that. I know that for a fact. But ignorance over intelligence over ignorance is what? The right thing philosophy way of life. I make that decision every day, all day. I don't stop. Why? I'm living in philosophical concepts of Maya where I weigh out everything and see what's best for me. Simple. Remember, and when I make a decision, I stand on it. Again, simple. Remember, buying my books, excuse me. I remember when I first started buying my books when I was young, 30 years ago, right? To gain knowledge and insight. I was aspiring to better myself. And I was in the bookstore. And I get the guy getting the bill. I'm like, whoa, man, this intelligent thing, this enlightening thing is getting expensive. He said, my brother, if you think education is expensive, try the price of ignorance. Don't want to pay that price. So I'll pay the price for the books and keep it moving. That's why I got books. Moving on. And I use them, not to just read, but I manifest and implement what I learned from the books. It ain't what you learn. Knowledge is not power. It's the use of the knowledge is the power. Moving on. Back in the day, the bookstore owner was what? Very astute and intelligent about what he was selling. He knew the books, he knew the writers, he knew what you're looking for. He took you in the area what you're looking for. This is where you want to be. Simple. I don't see that going now. Any more personal people doing that. So yeah, I learned old-fashioned way, hands-on. And the price, right this, the price that you would pay for ignorance will way supersede the price that you be paying for intelligence. Again, your choice. The price you pay for ignorance, some of us, I can say, the phrase in the streets was, it's self-defeating when you get caught cheating. Why? Because you might not want to pay them dues. Well, the dues might cost you your life. And being ignorant could be one of them dues you might have to pay. So pay attention. It takes work for what? To gain intellect, to better yourself. You got to put some work in, effort, energy, and somebody to help you along the way. And faith and belief drives you. That don't make you live a certain way. It doesn't take any work to what? Be ignorant. Studying, put my work in, putting together lessons so I can give to you. That takes work. If I want to just do nothing, I just sit back and say, well, I got enough knowledge. I know myself. I ain't got to tell nobody nothing. That would be selfish and very ignorant. And ignorant, I'm not. Let's go. Wrapping it up. Again, appreciate you tuning in. Right thing of philosophy is intelligence. Religion, aka belief system, I keep telling you, is ignorance. Belief is ignorant. God will reward intelligence. And you know, God also punishes ignorance. So if you ain't getting out of life what you want, it must be because what? You're ignorant. Get intelligence, know thyself, get God's blessings, and you'll be fine. Other than that, you'll be bad. Reincarnation is in the cards for all those who remain ignorant of themselves. Know thyself, that's the ticket. If you're a right thinker, that's your goal. And that's the lesson, right thinkers. In closing, you know the deal. May you all live to be 100 and be 100 minus a day. So I never know that right thinkers like you have passed away. I got some more. I'll be back.